Greetings, everyone. Dr. Dominique Reese here, and I am excited. Today we are hosting Crypto 101 for beginners who know nothing, want to learn more, and invest. Joining me is crypto consultant Terrell Bilbo, who has gone to school and got certified to learn more about cryptocurrencies and bring this knowledge to our communities. I am so very honored to have met him and to have partnered with him, because literally what you are going to learn today is exactly what I learned to help me get started. I am a financial professional, as you know, and I didn't know enough about cryptocurrency, and it always would play in the back of my mind as to what I would do if one of my clients had questions about crypto and I'm not confident enough to really talk about it, let alone coach about it. Just having a conversation where I feel confident enough to engage. And so I don't have that worry anymore. Not only have I learned very basic information about crypto, but that basic information was more than enough to get me started. So I am now currently investing in cryptocurrency, and it was all in a matter of 2 weeks. So that's why I've been so adamant about pushing this education out to our community, not only to my financial professional community, but also to my consumer community, because I already know enough of us don't know about crypto. So this is meant to be basic information 101, a safe space for you to ask questions, get answers, and then leave this training with thoughts about how you can take action on what you learned, as well as an opportunity for you to work with Terrell yourself, the same way I did. So I hope that you're ready to take notes. This will be recorded and you will have an opportunity to review it later. That way, if you just want to be present, go for it. But we're going to get started, and I'm going to turn it over to Terrell.
All right. Well, definitely thank you, Dr. Reese. It's an honor and a pleasure to share your platform. Just excited about this opportunity to give this information to our communities. There's so many times that we've been on the tail end of so many bubbles and booms and all those type of things that happens, and we're always like, what are they doing over there? And I just felt the need that it's time for us to be the ones that's ahead of the curve and really take advantage of the opportunities that's in front of us. And that's what I believe cryptocurrency is. So I won't take too much of your time tonight, man. I just want to share some good information with you guys. And give you the ability to take some of the mystique off of what cryptocurrency is, get some base knowledge, and hopefully leave this training, like Dr. Reese said, with a little bit more comfortable about the space and be able to take that into consideration and maybe start investing for yourself, or at least take the next step to get some more information. So we'll start there, and I'll share my screen with you guys. Dr. Reese, I still need it's not giving me full access. Share it now.
Try to request it from me, because I did it, but I'm not sure what's up. Try it now.
Okay. There we go. That's it. Sorry. All right. There we go. All right, guys. So my name is Terrell Bilbo. I'm a crypto education consultant. So I got my certification in cryptocurrency from the University of Nicosia. I'm certified in digital currency blockchain technology, Ethereum, and Ethereum smart contracts. The University of Nicosia is one of the top 11 universities in the world and one of the first ones to offer actually a master's program in digital currency. So that's where I got my credentials from. And today we'll look at the history of money. We'll do understanding crypto and understanding the blockchain, the market, coin market cap, which is basically your Google of everything, all things crypto. We'll go over and see some of the bigger players in the game because we feel like if these billion-dollar companies are playing in the game and crypto is good for their money, it's good for our money as well. We'll look at some of the advantages of investing in crypto. We'll do a scenario, a breakdown, what that would look like on a particular asset. And then we'll look at some of the things to get you started in crypto, like the wallets that you'll need, crypto wallets that have a credit card component to it, and then also exchange accounts. And then we're also looking at securing your asset because now you are the bank. It is your responsibility to make sure that your assets are protected. So we'll go over some of that, and then I'll give you some resources that you can go on your own time and do as much deep diving as you would like. So brief history of money. So we started in 19,000 BC, the barter system, and then we went from trading shells to minting coins in 700 BC. And then from 1870 to 1930, we were on the gold standard. And that basically means each dollar had to be backed by that same amount of gold for them to issue a banknote, right? And then we had the Bretton Woods meeting that basically took our gold standard to our fiat system that we are in currently. And basically what that is our current financial system that we're in, that the money is not backed by any gold. The government has the ability to print as much as they want, anytime that they want. And basically what that does, that brings on hyperinflation, and your dollar becomes worth a lot less, right? And then after that, now we come into 2009, where the creation of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was invented, and it was a direct response to the 2008 crash of the double spend problem and spending money that's not backed by anything. So then we look at, well, how does crypto work? Right? So crypto, you can either download the app on your PC or you can download the app on your phone. When you download that app on your phone, it'll generate this 16-digit numerical number right here. This is basically like your bank account number. So that's your account number. So once you have that, you could either take your credit card and buy crypto and put money into your wallet, or you can have somebody send you money from their crypto wallet into yours. So this is called a peer-to-peer system, where if I want to send you money peer-to-peer, we don't need a third-party person in between for that transaction to take place. We can do it between us, right? And then once I send that transaction over to you, the network authenticates that transaction. So they have a network of computers, not a bank, not a middleman, but a network of computers, and they have a consensus mechanism where basically everybody has to agree that this is a good transaction, and that keeps the ecosystem fair and balanced, and it keeps it true, right? And then now you have your coins. Now you're able to either send them to another person, or you're able to buy different services online with your Bitcoin now. So when we talk about Bitcoin, this is going deeper into how Bitcoin works, right? So Bitcoin, there's a finite amount of Bitcoin. It's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined or ever be put into circulation. So we have an event that happens every 3 to 4 years that's called the halving. So in 2009, when Bitcoin was created, every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoin was put into circulation. Every 10 minutes. So now, and then, so every 3 to 4 years, that reward or that number of Bitcoin that is entered into circulation is cut in half, right? So in 2012, it went from 50 to 25. 2016, it went from 25 to 12 and a half. And then 2016 to 2020, it went to 6.25. the most important thing about this is that one, it makes this coin a deflationary, right? It's a deflationary. So when you hear people talk about, Bitcoin will be worth $100,000, a Bitcoin will be worth $1 million one day, they're not guessing at the fact that these numbers will happen. The reason that they know and understand that these numbers are possible and will happen is strictly based on math. It's based on supply and demand, the amount of coins that we have a finite amount of 21 million, and then we have a protocol that decreases the amount of supply each year, every 4 years. So if you have a decrease in supply, but a high increase in demand, that's what gives Bitcoin the value. And then also, I want you guys to think about this. Think about if there were only $21 million bills in the world in circulation. How much would you be paying for $1 bill? That's what makes Bitcoin so valuable, because of the scarcity. Again, like we talked about the dollar, they can print millions of them, billions of them at any time they want. As long as they got the paper to do it, they can print them. But with Bitcoin, that isn't the case. So that's what gives Bitcoin its intrinsic value. And then when we talk about Bitcoin, that's a digital currency. It's a digital form of money. But then we have to talk about the blockchain. And the blockchain is similar to the internet. Compare that to the internet. So if the blockchain is the internet, Bitcoin is the websites that run on top of the internet, right? And all Bitcoin is, all blockchain is an open ledger. It's just like your bank account. It's like your bank account, but it's an open ledger where you can see all the transactions that has ever happened. And what happens is, so we'll go through the process here. Like, a transaction is requested. So I request $50 from Dr. Reese, and she sends that money over to me. So a new block is represented, a new block is created of information of that transaction. And then that transaction goes to the network of computers, that network of computers that have to have a joint consensus that this is a good transaction. Once it goes through that block, that those nodes or those computers validate that transaction. Once that transaction is validated, I don't know if you've heard of them before, but they're called miners. So just like gold, you would be mining gold. It's the same concept in Bitcoin. You have a bunch of computers that are figuring out complex algorithm mathematical equations. Basically, I know that's a lot to say, but basically they're verifying that the transaction is good. And once those computers verify that that transaction is good, they're rewarded. They're rewarded with a block reward. So that halving that we're talking about. So now that reward would be 6.25 every time a block is rewarded to the miners. And then once that block is rewarded, it is then added to an existing block. So the transaction beforehand is there, and then the new transaction is added to the last transaction, and it goes in block by block. That way it can't be changed, it can't be manipulated, and it can never be frauded. And blockchain is one of the most secure technologies that we can ever run on. It has never been hacked. So when you hear people saying like, oh, well, Bitcoin got hacked or things like that, people's computers and passwords got hacked, but the actual blockchain has never been hacked. Okay. So when we
Terrell,
talk about, I'm sorry.
sorry to interrupt. Can you go back to that slide and
Okay.
just talk about number 4 really quickly in terms
Okay.
of the network, like that there's real people behind there.
Right. Well, it's people, but it's a network of very high complex computers, right? So you'll have mining farms, and us being in Texas, I'm sure California is probably doing some of the stuff with like the solar energy as well. But you have mining farms where basically people set up like warehouses of just rigs, of just basically PCs or computers. And these are computers that just crunch out, they crunch numbers at a very high rate of speed. So you'll have mining in China, you'll have mining in Australia, you'll have mining in Africa. So it's computer networks all around the world, but it's not just one centrally located place where one person can control the complete ecosystem of Bitcoin, if that makes sense. Does that explain it?
Yes. Yes, sir. I just wanted to get that concept out.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So and like I said, this is all done. This is all a response to, you know, banks and third parties having too much power. So this actually gives the power to the group, the consensus to say, hey, this is good. This is good for the community. This is good. This is how our money should flow. This is how our money should work. So this is a, I mean, it's a beautiful technology, and it solves a lot of problems in our financial system. So when we look right here, this lady right here is Kathy Woods of Ark Invest. She's been known for calling out Tesla, Facebook, a couple of other stocks. And what they do, I mean, they have tremendous teams that just do research, research, research. And this is her opinion, or this is her analysis on why one Bitcoin will be worth $500,000.
Why one Bitcoin will equal $500,000 per coin.
Bitcoin, more in the fintech realm. We are seeing corporations, we didn't expect this. We expected institutional interest, but we didn't expect corporations to substitute Bitcoin for cash. MicroStrategy was the first. All of its cash is now in Bitcoin. And in fact, it did an offering so that it could buy more Bitcoin. Square has put 5% of its assets into Bitcoin. And we're seeing more mature companies like PayPal enabling the buying and selling of Bitcoin on its platform, as Cash App does as well. Well, if companies in the S&P 500 were to put 1% of their cash into Bitcoin, that would increase the price of Bitcoin by $40,000. Today, it's close to $30,000. So that's more than a double right there. If we saw 10%, of course, that would add 400,000. And I just told you, MicroStrategy has put all of its cash in. Perhaps emerging markets will be faster in terms of adoption, but we have been very surprised at how quickly this has happened in the United States. Institutions are going to have a significant impact on Bitcoin's price. We're seeing all kinds of evidence today. I just gave you some about corporate cash, but we have the OCC. Last July, they allowed custody banks to federally chartered banks to custody Bitcoin. And just within the last month, they have allowed banks to actually become nodes on any public blockchain so that they can enable much less expensive and efficient settlement. So that is again a little faster than we would have expected. We've seen Fidelity. The infrastructure has certainly been moving into place for a while. Fidelity, the Intercontinental ICE, the Intercontinental Exchange, the CME, and Cambridge. The consultant wrote a paper about, it was a little more than a year ago, basically telling institutions, hey, this could be a new asset class. And it has a very low correlation. In fact, it has the lowest correlation if you compare Bitcoin with all the other major asset classes out there. It has the lowest correlations of any other combination. So we believe that here you can see that if our analysis on how institutions will look at allocating to this space is correct, and this is using a Monte Carlo simulation, institutional involvement could increase the price of Bitcoin. Again, it's 30,000 now, by 200,000 if they want to minimize volatility, to 500,000 if they want to maximize their Sharpe ratios.
Hey.
So as you can see, that was a little bit older video, but as you can see, she was pretty much spot on with saying like $70,000 would be a price point that we're looking at. And then one thing that I would like to point out is that in 2017, when we saw the last bull run of $20,000, thing to keep in mind there that there was no institutional money in the game at all. So guys like MicroStrategy, Tesla, all of these big name companies, they were not even playing in the space at that time. And we went from 1,400 to $20,000 in a year. So the reason why we feel like this time is going to be so much bigger is because you have companies like MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy had a meeting in February of this year with all the top about 500 top Fortune 500 companies, and basically gave them the blueprint to say, hey, this is how you invest into crypto. This is how you invest into Bitcoin. And you have MicroStrategy, you have Tesla, so we all know with Tesla and Elon Musk, and actually Tesla made more money with Bitcoin than they made the life of them selling Tesla cars. They made more money in Bitcoin in the last 6 months than they made in the complete time they've been selling Tesla cars. So that speaks volumes for that. And then you have companies like Mass Mutual, Marathon Oil, all of these big companies, Square, which is Cash App, which most people have. So all of these people are getting involved into this market. So we always say success leaves clues. So if you're paying attention to where the big guys are putting their money, and you got to also think about it, they have shareholders, they have people money that they have to be responsible for. So they're not just I'm sorry. Right. They have people that they're responsible for. So they can't just put money into assets that they don't particularly see a future for. So that's why all the big guys are here. And then I'm sure everybody has been hearing, or if you haven't heard, Facebook has now changed his name into Meta. And I mean, we won't get into what the metaverse is and what it's going to be, but I mean, I just want to point out the fact that big Facebook has over 2 billion plus, closer to 3 billion monthly users. So what that means is that 3 billion people are now about to get introduced to this thing called cryptocurrency. And it's gonna, so if Facebook, and we already know how their marketing and their algorithms work. So if they're behind this metaverse and they're behind the cryptocurrency movement, now look how many more people just got introduced to this cryptocurrency market. And that's why I'm so adamant about the information and the time is now, because think about, it's only less than 5% of the world actually knows about crypto and what's happening. But with moves that like Facebook is making, some of these other bigger banks are making, like that number will start to grow. That number will start to grow. And my hope is that we can get in front of the wave instead of behind the wave. And instead of being consumer of this money or consumer of this technology, because each coin, and that's another thing, each coin is a technology as well. So Bitcoin is a technology. We explained the protocol behind that, but each one of these different coins is an actual technology that's written on the blockchain that will change the way we do everything. So instead of being consumers and having to buy at high prices, it's better to get in now and get that appreciation and being invested in these companies at a very early stage. Okay. So when we talk about coin market cap, this is basically, like I said, this is your Google for everything crypto. And we'll go here. So this is the place that you go, coinmarketcap.com. This is the place that you go to find out. I'm sorry, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Now.
Oh man, so what did y'all miss?
Just this first beginning part where you introduce CoinMarketCap.
Okay, cool. So CoinMarketCap, like I said, is your everything, is your Google of everything crypto, right? So most of the times when I'm talking to people, the majority of people, and I get it, but they know Bitcoin, they know Ethereum, and they know Dogecoin probably. And that's like the extent of people's knowledge in this crypto space. But what I want to show you is this. In the crypto space, there's 13,606 coins in this total crypto space. You have 428 exchanges where you can go and buy these different cryptocurrencies. And then crypto right now has a current market cap of $2.6 trillion. This is a $2.6 trillion market right now. In the last 24 hours, $127 billion came into this market, right? And then this also showed you the dominance, right? So the dominance of Bitcoin, so 42.9% of this $2.6 trillion is made up of Bitcoin. And then 19.7% of this market is made up of Ethereum, right? So that's roughly right around 68 to 70% of the market, right? So that of that $2.6 trillion. So that means there's another 30%. There's another 30% of that $2.6 trillion that are made up of the other coins. So everything other than Bitcoin is considered an altcoin. Well, the reason I stress that is that because this market is slated to hit $10 trillion by the end of the year, which means there's another roughly $7 trillion or so, $7.4 trillion that has to come into this market. So the opportunity that are going to happen that's other than Bitcoin or Ethereum is tremendous, because that 30%, that other 30%, that money is going to flow into those projects as well. And if you're able to do the analysis, you're able to know what's behind the coin, what's the utility, who's the team, and able to really focus on and to see if this is a great investment for you or not, this is going to put you ahead of the curve. And this is also what we teach in our courses as well. But this is going to be your end all be all when it comes to cryptocurrency and really doing the analysis that you need. So then we want to talk about looking at the difference between our stocks, what our normal stocks are doing, and then the opportunity that exists in cryptocurrency. Because I think most people, they have a 401k, they know stocks, and that's familiar to you, right? But it said the average stock market return is 10% per year for nearly the last century. The S&P often considers a benchmark measure of annual stock returns. Though 10% is the average stock return, returns in any year are far from average. So we'll look at the US large stock. So you have it during low inflation times, and we'll look at the real numbers. So you got about 10% on your large stocks. You got about 11% on your smaller stocks. Non-US stocks, about 8%. US bonds, 4%. US cash, next to nothing. Real estate is about 10%. And then in commodities, gold and silvers, we're at a negative when there's low inflation, which means when there's not a lot of money printing, these particular commodities perform poorly, basically. But when you have high inflations, which means there's a bunch of money that's printing and your dollar is not going as far as it should, your US stocks is about 4%. Small stocks about 6%, non-stocks are 5%, US bonds about 3%, US cash at about 1%, real estate is 7%, and then commodities, because people they want to move to a hedge when there's a bunch of money printing happening. They want to move to hard commodities like gold and silver, oil, things of that nature. So that does well in high inflation, right? But this is what I want you to take a look at cryptocurrency. You have certain assets that you can put your money in, that you can do auto staking. Staking is basically, think of it as just like a money market account or an investment fund or a savings account. But the difference in cryptocurrency, the yields are so much more bigger. They're so much more larger than your typical yields that you would get from a bank. So just like this one right here, you're looking at 148% annually on your money. And with this one, it's auto compounding. So you don't have to even do anything. Every 7 to 10 days, this thing will auto populate, auto compound your money at a rate at 148%. And then you have one where you can manually compound at 90%. So the average is around somewhere between 90 and 120% that you can get on your money on some of these staking platforms, right? So one thing I want you guys to write down, look at pancakeswap.finance, go there, visit the website, get some more information about it, and just look around. But these are the type of platforms that are decentralized. Decentralized meaning there is no third party, there is no bank, there is nobody in between, but they're giving you the ability to basically become a market maker or an investor on a large scale, just like a bank or a VC would. But now us as normal people, we have the ability to do this now. So that's what's so beneficial about crypto and so exciting about crypto now, because now we have the same opportunity as some of the large institutions that we were never a part of and never could get access to. So that's what we want to make sure you understand, that you have access to these type of returns on your investments. So we'll look at a little bit of history, right? So if you would have invested $100 in 2009 when Bitcoin was 0.003, in 2017, when we saw $20,000 Bitcoin price, that $100 would be worth $633 million. In 2021, just this year, we saw Bitcoin hit a price of $64,000. That same $100 would be worth $2.1 billion today. So, and this is in a very short period of time. So you got to realize how fast cryptocurrency is growing and how fast that this whole market is moving. And you want, and when I tell you that we're just getting started, this is the very, very, very beginning stages of what cryptocurrency is. It's about 12 to 13 years old, which is still in its infancy stages, and there's so much more to come. So you are in the right place at the right time, definitely. So let's look at an investment. I want you guys to write this down. This is one of the coins that I've invested. This is not financial advice. I just want to give you an idea of what's possible in cryptocurrency, right? So Dent, you can do your research on Dent, but Dent is a telecom coin. It's a technology that allows people to pay on their phone, apps, in different countries like Africa, South America. Minutes and phone minutes and cellular apps are huge because there's a lot of unbanked people, right? So being that's the case, cellular minutes and things like that are super big in different countries. So Dent has attacked that problem and basically created an app where people can pay their phone bills, send money to a friend. It has a credit card that's coming out at the end of this year where you can load up and buy things anywhere, like a Visa or MasterCard is accepted. So huge utility for people in other countries that don't really trust banks, but if they can do it from their phone and it be decentralized, they want to participate. So we're looking at a $1,000 investment. The current price of Dent right now is 0.007. And when I say this, think about this. Dent has over 25 million active users currently, right now. So this is not it's still an up and coming technology or company, but they have a huge use case and they have tons of participants on their platform already. So this coin right now is less than a penny at 0.007. So what we would do is take $1,000 divided by 0.007. That would give you the number of coins. Think about the number of coins or the number of shares you have in Dent, right? Think about it like that. So that would give you 142,000 coins, 857 coins, right? So we look at the all-time high. The all-time high of Dent has been 11 cents, right? We consider that to be a conservative estimate because the market has already agreed that this is a coin that we're willing to pay 11 cents for, right? And then we look at the projected high because now we're in a bull run every 4 years. After the halving, the significance of the halving, every 4 years, they have a bull run where things go absolutely berserk and go parabolic. And that's where all the gains are made, right? So we're in that cycle now. So again, you're right on time because we're in that cycle. So normally things go anywhere from a 10x to 100x to 1,000x. Like these numbers are very doable, right? We'll do it at a projected high at a 10x, right, of this 11 cents, and that'll give us $1.10, right? So we take that number of coins that we have, time our all-time high, which we consider to be very conservative because we've already seen that. We've just turned $1,000 into $15,714, right? Then if we look at the projected high, before the end of the year, this is what it's slated to hit, $1.10 or better. We take the same number of coins, and now we've turned that $1,000 into $157,000 investment. That conservatively, right here, that is a 1,400% return on your investment. And if we hit our projected high of $1.10, that is a 15,000% return on your investment. And these numbers are happening every day in cryptocurrency. And then if we go back to look at the small stocks, the US stocks, the bonds, they don't even come close to what you're able to do in cryptocurrency. So that's the opportunity that we want to make you guys aware of and make sure you're paying attention to. So one of the wallets that when you start to buy cryptocurrency, you have what's called a wallet. And a wallet is basically like your bank account. You keep it on your phone. It's an app. You can have it on your PC. Either way, but this is your bank account. This is your vault where you're going to keep all of your cryptocurrency. And I'll show you a couple of different ones. But this one here is called Trust. And you can look it up online. It's in your app store, Android or iOS. It's called Trust. It's a Trust wallet. And basically all you would do, you would go here and you would create your wallet. They're going to give you your recovery phrase. These are the letters of your recovery phrase. It's a 12-word phrase. You write it down, you put it somewhere safe, and you never give it to anybody else but somebody you trust. So you need to have it in a couple of different places written down, and then you will want to give that to somebody you trust. Because again, remember, you are the bank now. We have to take responsibilities for our finances and protect our assets. So you want to write these words down, keep them somewhere safe. And then never take a photocopy or a screenshot of this because you don't want anybody getting your information. The only way somebody can hack or get into your crypto wallet is if they have your phone or if they have your recovery phrase. So you always want to make sure you take great care of that. And then they're going to ask you to put those words in chronological order. They're going to ask you the words by order. You put them in, and then you verify your wallet. And then your wallet is set up. So this is what the inside of your wallet will look like. These are the different assets, and you can add more assets to it. But say you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, you have BNB, some of these other coins, and then it will basically show you what your portfolio is. And this is where everything is found. Your send and receive button are found up here. When you want to receive money from somebody, you would hit that receive button. You can copy and paste and send it in a text message. One key thing is never try to manually input your address in when you're sending or receiving money. Never try to manually do it. Always copy and paste, because you always want to make sure that you're sending it to the right address. Because if you don't, there is no customer service. There is nobody to retrieve that for you. You have to be responsible for it. And I know it might don't sound, a daunting task, but this is what it's about. This is the world that is coming to us, whether we like it or not. They're not asking our permission. If cryptocurrency is coming, it's here, right? So we need to do our job to make sure that we're educating ourselves on the protocols, on the functions of these different wallets, and just get in here and practice and play with it, and then reach out to people that can help you with it if you have questions. But you copy that, and that's how you send and receive money, right? Or if you have somebody that's standing next to you, everybody's familiar with QR codes. You could always scan somebody's QR code, and then that address automatically populates for you into your sent column, and that way you don't have to worry about doing it manually. So that's how this works. So again, go to Trust. This is called your Trust wallet on iOS or the Google Play Store, and you can find that there. All right. So crypto.com, this is an amazing platform. Crypto.com is also a wallet. It's also a wallet where you can store your different cryptocurrencies in. You could also buy and purchase on crypto.com. But the thing that I love about crypto.com as well is that it comes with a credit card. Because most people, that's their thought process. Like, how do I, okay, this crypto stuff sounds cool and all that, it's digital money, but how do I really use it? Like, how, if I want to buy some milk, or if I want to buy some shoes, or whatever the case is, like, how do I really use this cryptocurrency? So that's the application that crypto.com has done an excellent job of solving for you. They're one of the first ones to do a partnership with Visa to handle all of their cryptocurrency transaction and settlement. So crypto.com is definitely one that you want to take a look at. You can apply for the card, and then right here where you see down here where you have the card option. So say you have $10,000 in Bitcoin in your wallet or whatever, and you say, hey, I want to spend I want to put $1,000, I want to go on vacation, I want to buy some shoes or whatever the case is, and so I want to take some of my Bitcoin and put it on my Visa card. So they have a top up function where you just hit top up. You can pick the asset that you want to pull from, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever asset that you have, and now you can add that money or that amount to your crypto card. And now you're able to take that crypto card, go to an ATM, pull out cash money if you feel like it, or you can take that card and use it anywhere Visa is accepted. So that's a tremendous tool to have in your toolbox when it comes to this cryptocurrency, and the way to utilize it and be able to use it for everyday use cases. Then we talk about KuCoin. So this is a little bit more, KuCoin is an exchange. So an exchange where you go, an exchange is where all different cryptocurrencies are bought and sold, right? So KuCoin also has an app that you can go to, download the app, and then you're able to go to there and buy all the different cryptocurrencies. So if you've ever been on any kind of exchange, you can think about it as like a foreign currency exchange, like the yen for the US dollar or whatever the case is. It's the same concept. It's just that the pairs are Bitcoin and Ethereum and Doge. Those are the pairs instead of like the USD and the JPY or these different currencies. So it's the same concept, but that's where you would go to an exchange where you can open market where you can buy and sell your different cryptocurrencies there. So here's a few resources that I want you guys to take down. Websites to follow. Again, we talked about coinmarketcap.com. Make sure you're going to there, doing your research. Cointelegraph is also another good one where they have a lot of stories that come on about crypto daily. All the news of crypto, and this is basically, and I'll be honest with you guys, like this is how I am so in tune with what's going on, because basically, you could have your IG, timeline, and have other things on there, or you can turn that timeline into a newsreel or a resource for yourself inside of crypto, where you're familiarizing yourself with this, because it's really just about familiarity and proximity to this information, because the information is there, it's out there. You just have to go and be seeking it, right? So I just want to give you guys some resources to go seek some of this information. Kraken is another exchange you can go to. They actually allow you to link your bank accounts where you can actually wire money from your bank account to buy cryptocurrency, and then liquidate your cryptocurrency, and then it sends it right into your bank account as well. So that's another resource for you. CoinGecko is similar to CoinMarketCap as well. So it's another resource that you can go to find out a lot more about cryptocurrency. Some of the YouTubers to follow. Again, take advantage of these people's resources, right? These people have research teams. They do this 24 hours a day. So they're able to put the stuff that we miss, they're catching it. So just plug into their channels, and they'll be able to give you a lot of information. So these are the YouTube channels for Big Boy Crypto. He's a really good one. Michael Saylor is who we talked about with MicroStrategy, who has put all of his capital, all of his balance sheet is in crypto now. And then Coin Bureau is another good one to go and look up on YouTube, to just follow and to listen and get more information, and really just familiarize yourself with the lingo and everything else. So as far as what we offer here is we offer a crypto basic class. It's basically just setting up your digital wallet. We do 1 week live training. We have a Telegram group, so we're building that community of people where you can go, feel safe to ask your questions, and you will get your questions answered. And then we'll put different video modules and things in there so you can go back and see information that you might have missed. And then you also have the asset security. Always very important is to secure your assets. And then we do 2-day boot camps. This is understanding crypto, setting up your exchange accounts and your wallet, building out a portfolio. So I'll help you build out a portfolio. Most of any coin, and again, this is not financial advice, but any coin that I recommend or I put forward, these are coins that I am personally invested in and that I believe in. Right? So I'll help you with at least 3 coins that will 10x this year, 10x your investment. You get 2 weekly trainings, and then also you get the security as well, the asset security. And then for those who really just want to jump right in and do a one-on-one and need a more of a personal experience, I do one-on-ones. That's a private consultation that's understanding the crypto market analysis, setting up your exchange account, and then mirroring a 7-figure portfolio, which I have now. Staking and yield farming. That's another, when we talked about passive income, the mutual fund type thing inside of crypto. So learning how to stake, learning how to yield, and basically getting coins for free, right? And then with any asset, with anything that you invest in, I believe that you have to have a plan of action, right? So what I want to do is I want to shift the mindset of crypto as a get rich quick scheme, and we trying to get rich overnight. That's not what this is. I want you to structure your mind around 3 to 5 years. We're just getting started in this, but if you make a move today and you get into this market and you look at 3 to 5 years, I'm going to invest in some solid technology, some solid companies. And this is what my plan is on taking action, taking profits off the table. That's the plan that we're going to put together. That's the plan that we're going to work on together. And then you always have 24-hour access. You could always shoot me a text. For my private clients, they could always shoot a text. They could always shoot an email with the questions that they need. And I'm always there to answer the questions for you. So every Tuesday I do an event here in Texas, Crypto Tuesdays at Mickey's, and then we're starting to do crypto conversations every Wednesday around this same time. So invite your people out, get your people to some good information about cryptocurrency and the things that you need that you're learning. Share this with other people, because that's the point of it all. And you could also visit my website, cryptobilbo.com. Oh, I got it right here. So go here and you can just go, you can see some of the testimonials we have, some of the students that have taken my course, some of the things that we're doing. You can hit on the course right there. Basically decide which one is right for you. The crypto basic class, the 2-day boot camp, or the crypto 101. And then that's pretty much it. You get in touch with me, and then we'll make it happen from there.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we had a few questions come in. It's 6:49, and I told you we would be out by 7. So let's take these questions. Thank you, Dr. Carey. Yeah, it's a lot, and it's overwhelming, and it can be a challenge to shift how we think, because we're so conditioned to think about the dollar. This ain't the dollar. So, that resistance that your mind may be having and that you could be experiencing, I experienced that too. Like, okay, I get it. However, and I just kept feeling like, there's still so much more I need to know. But once I actually got started, I was like, oh, I didn't need to know nothing else except for the basics to get started. And then I can learn along the way. So let's see. We had a question that came in. It was from, I believe, Aisha. I'm scrolling down. I'm scrolling. And the question was, who controls the computer? Are we talking AI? So I think this goes back to the nodes and the miners. Aisha, if you're still on, feel free to unmute to ask your question directly, or if we've got the question properly, we can go ahead and answer. Aisha, do you want to come off?
That's correct. I was just wondering when you went through the whole thing with the mining and the computers and, no one man involved. I was wondering, as far as the computers, like who is controlling that in the whole system and everything?
So who's controlling? So the system is controlled by the protocol of Bitcoin, right? But you do have companies, large scale companies that have outfitted these large mining facilities. So you have certain companies. So you have mining pools, or what they're called. So you have different mining pools around the country that have made the investment in the crypto space, just like a person would do if they were building a solar farm or whatever the case is. They made the investment in this crypto space to house these computers. So when you talk about control, they don't necessarily control it, but they have made the investment to get a large share, or to be able to participate in the crypto mining and securing the system. They made the investment to secure the system, but they don't control the protocol and how Bitcoin, like the mining and the protocol that happens every 10 minutes, they don't control that. The computers is basically an algorithm that happens automatically, which goes back to like smart contracts and things like that, that it happens on an automatic basis. It's basically like just loading a computer program onto a computer, and the computers are there to just run the program. That's basically what it is.
Okay. We had another question. I believe Marsha wanted to know, will Bitcoin or crypto replace the dollar or cash? Yes, she asked, will Bitcoin replace paper money? Thoughts on that?
In my personal opinion, I think it will. And just to be honest with it, like we're already using digital money now. It's not too many people. We don't carry tens and thousands of dollars around on us. It's already digital. When you look at your bank statement, you're looking at digital. When you look at your bank account, everything is digital already. What I think will happen is, like, they have certain stable coins like USDT and certain things like that. Like, governments will start to try to come out with their own stable coins, which they're already doing. But I think once the cat is out the bag, it's out the bag, So I don't necessarily think that, like, governments will come up with their own form of currency, but there'll always be other ecosystems outside of just the dollar or whatever the case is. But paper money in the next 3 to 5 years, I feel, will be obsolete.
Taryn asks, what types of transaction fees are there?
So, good question. So it really just depends. So right now, if you're on the Ethereum coins that use Ethereum or are running on Ethereum blockchain, those fees typically tend to be pretty high right now, just because it's so much development that's happening on Ethereum, so it can range, right? But you'll have, like, so for a Bitcoin transaction, it can, depending on the transaction, it can be anywhere from a couple of cents to $3 or $4. But then like you'll take something like the Binance Smart Chain, where all the fees are pretty much pennies on a dollar, right? So what people are trying to do, and I think those will be the technologies that move a little bit further faster, are the ones who solve the speed problem as far as transaction and the fee problem. Because, for somebody in India that's trying to buy $20 of Ethereum, and basically, the fee to buy that is $10, that's a little much to invest, even though they are doing it. So fees can range, but on each different protocol or different blockchain, you have a different fee structure that comes with it.
Marcia says, entry may be easier, but do you cover exit strategies, such as trying to sell when everyone is trying to sell? So I think that's more about your program and what you may cover with your students.
Right. So that's like I said, when we sit down and we're working one-on-one, we strategize because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of I know strictly based on numbers what is projected to come into the market. I understand charts because I read charts and I've been trading forex for the last 5 years, so I understand when things are being oversold or overbought. So I definitely let my students or my clients know, hey, you know, at a certain point, we're going to take 25% off the table. At a certain point, we're going to take another 50% off the table. And then that last 20 to 25%, we're gonna ride and see what that happens. But at that point, we're dealing with house money. You know, we've secured our investment, we made some profits, we've been reinvested some of those profits, and now, you know, we're just waiting for our next cycle to come. Because this is what I want you guys to understand. You guys are on the front end of this bull run now, but we're really looking at the next bull run. The next bull run is when we really create the wealth we want to create. We're going to set our foundation this year on some of the investments, but once this thing goes into a bear market, because it will, it's a cycle. We're going to take some of those profits and buy in lower because we believe in the technology, we believe in what's going on, but we know it has to come down. So we don't want to buy at the highs. We're going to sell at the highs, and I'm going to give the strategies on the way we're going to do that together.
All right. Aubrey says, what is the lowest I can start with to invest? Which was my question when I got started too. So great question, Aubrey.
So yeah, great question. If you have Cash App, you can start 10, 20 bucks to buy Bitcoin. I mean, and I tell people all the time, just get started because it's something about buying $20 of Bitcoin and then going back in that wallet and seeing that $20 turn to $25, turn to 30 bucks, turn to $40, and you haven't done any work. You haven't had to go clock in, you haven't had to do any of these things, and your money is growing for you. Like I have a saying that I say, every dollar has a job to do. And that's what we want to do. We want to put our money to work for us because money is a horrible master, but it's a great tool. So we want to put our money to work for us.
And I believe those are all of the questions. So what I'd like to do now is, does anyone have any other question? Oh, Marcia, should we buy now or wait for dip?
Well, actually, we're in a dip right now. If you go to the market right now, Bitcoin is down. And so everything will follow Bitcoin. So when you see Bitcoin start running and going crazy, all the other ones will run and go crazy. So it's certain things that you need to be looking at. But right now, we buy the red, right? So we got to change our mentality on that as well, because when Bitcoin had dropped down to 29,000, nobody wanted to touch it. Like nobody was like, I'm not touching. Bitcoin is crashing. And now that it's back up to 60,000, now everybody want to buy again. We got to change that mentality. You wouldn't go to a store. When we go to a store, do you want to buy when it's a sale on, or you want to buy when everything is high price? So it's just a concept in what I teach and what I basically drill into my client's mind is like, we want to be it's counterintuitive to think about it. But the thing about it is that if all of those people won, the market wouldn't be able to sustain itself, right? So we have to be the ones that are trading and buying like the banks buy. We gotta basically, because in order for us to take profit, that means that somebody else has to lose money. And it is what it is, right? But I would rather be on the point of saying, I know that this thing is getting overhyped, everybody's going crazy. It's time for me to pull my profits and wait for my next opportunity.
Aubrey says, over a year ago, she bought $20 of Bitcoin at a machine, but she lost her code. How can she retrieve it?
Hey, it's going to the Bitcoin guides. it's out in the ether. Like it's out there. You have to. I mean, I would say, but what I would say is if you bought Bitcoin, you probably had to use some kind of email address or something like that. I would try to go back and research that and see if you can find it. But really, if you don't have the information, it's pretty much gone. You gave that to the world.
And that's why we say it's really like there's no customer service. When he told me that, I immediately got it, because I'm always looking to like call somebody, complain, or like, you know, you need to help me out. That's the whole point of crypto is that it's a decentralized market. There is no middleman that we have to go through, which puts that personal responsibility on us. So when we talk about safeguarding our assets, and like in my curriculum, when I'm like protection, for this particular asset, you've got to either have, a safety deposit box where you keep some of your important stuff, a safe at home, a journal that's locked away, like somewhere that only you, and again, a trusted person will know where these informations are. Kat says, in your opinion, which wallet do you prefer? Trust, crypto.com, or something else? And Kat, I'll just say I have all of them. I have both of those. All right, Terrell.
Same here. Same. I would suggest you get all three, because it's just like, just having all the tools at your disposal. That's all it is. You want a trust wallet. A trust wallet is more something that you house your coins, keep them there, but also trust gets you access to some of these coins like the Shiba coins and and you're able to attach your wallet to a Sushi Swap, Pancake Swap, some of the other different decentralized exchanges like the DEX that you're able to connect to. So trust is definitely a good one to have. Crypto.com, again, that credit card feature, you always want to have that in your arsenal as well. And then, like I said, with KuCoin, having that app, being able to go to an open exchange and buy whatever coin you want is also a tool that you need in your toolbox.
All right, we've hit 7:01, and I'm going to honor our pledge, rather, to end on time. I really thank you, Terrell, because again, guys, this is just the beginning, right? It's like we just barely scratched the surface, but to get started is the idea, to start learning the basics. I started with $100. I took $100, I went to Cash App, and I want to say my fee was like 7 cents or something like that, the transaction fee, a few cents on the dollar. And once I purchased my Bitcoin, I transferred it to my Trust wallet. And then I used the crypto.com to purchase some other things and transfer that. So I just dove right in with about $175 between Bitcoin and some of the other coins that I researched and was interested in. Just like stocks, right? It is literally just like that. And so you do your research about the coin, you learn what technology is behind the coin, because again, these are companies that are coming out with coins the same way companies come out with products and services and then do an IPO to gain money so they can build their business. The same concept lies here in cryptocurrency, where these coins are generated by companies that want to raise money. So they put their coin out there, you go and buy the coin, they take your money and they go build their business or their technology or whatever it is that they're going to be selling. But now the coin is out there, and that's where you're owning the coin and the appreciation or the depreciation, just like the stock market. So very similar concepts to how we already know how to invest, just a completely different market, a completely different ecosystem, and a completely different set of language that you've got to get familiar with. So that's why in the chat, I was typing some of the words that you hear Terrell using, because I was like, wait, what is a protocol? Wait, what is a project? The same thing as the company? Like, I'm trying to relate his language to what I know in investing in stocks. Very similar. So it was very helpful for me. And I basically did his basic course. So with the basic course, he works with you one-on-one to understand these things and answer your questions. And I'm very grateful that, again, we met now, because I don't want to be left out. I was left out before, like when it was below a cent. It wasn't even 1 cent. And I'm like, had I invested then, look at where I would be now, what I would have. I don't want to have that narrative. And I don't want our community to have that narrative. So if you will go blow $20 tomorrow, okay, commit $20 to this and see how it goes. I mean, at the very minimum, whatever you're willing to spend tomorrow, go ahead and see if you would put that in one of these coins and learn by playing, and make it an amount that you don't mind losing if you lose it. Okay. That way you're calculating your risk. If you want to get in touch with Terrell for more one-on-one support, again, you can visit his website. Terrell, can you put your website in the chat so people can copy it and do further research? And then if they have any questions, what would be a good way for them to reach out to you or communicate any questions they might have?
I can actually either through my Telegram, and I'll get that to you where you can send that out, or you can send me a message on my website. They have a place where you can put your information in and you can type whatever message that you want there, and I'll get it and I'll respond, and they'll give me your number. And if you want to set up a conference call or whatever the case is, we can do that as well. But you can go on my actual site and leave whatever question that you need.
Okay. So we're good, guys. Thank you for joining. There will be a replay. So everyone who registered will get another opportunity to review this again in case you need to, just to let the thoughts sink in or look at certain slides that he presented. Stay tuned because there will probably be a follow-up training. I don't know what it is, but I did have one person reach out and was like, I'm already investing, but I don't know when to sell and what to look for. And I said, okay. So that question came up again on today's training, where if you're already invested and you now need investing strategies, again, it's our responsibility to learn this stuff. Terrell is a consultant who is educating our people and anyone who wants to know, but now you've got a trusted resource who's actually a person. And that was my thing. I was like, all right, I could go to these websites, I can learn. Again, the information's out there. But I have questions. Who can I ask my questions to? The real stupid, dumb questions like, wait, what is that? And I don't get it. Back up, say that again. And he was very patient and he helped me. So once he helped me, I was like, all right, I got to bring this resource to the people. So thank you again. Any questions, you've got it right there in the chat in terms of his information for the website. And we appreciate you for coming out. So have a good one, y'all. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.